Men, if your dad wasn't there for you, you could be struggling trying to figure out how to do this dad thing. Hey, it's Father's Day weekend. I want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads. All the dads want to remind you of the powerful, powerful role you play in your children's lives. If your dad wasn't there for you, it could be for any number of reasons, Maybe your dad was sick and incapacitated. Maybe he was struggling with some addiction perhaps, and he was just not present. Maybe he was there, but he worked all the time. Maybe he wasn't there. Maybe he was, as is the case for so many of us as men, nowhere to be found. Maybe he was there for a part of the story, a part of your life, and then he left, he dipped. Maybe he was in and out. I'm telling you, in my work with couples, especially with men and women, let's be real, there's a real struggle to figure out the impact of dad's absence or his sometimes absence. I want to just talk to men for a few minutes about how to become the dad you wish you'd had. Maybe you had your dad there and he was doing the absolute best he could do. Whatever his situation was, I do want to challenge you, I want to urge you, encourage you to honor him. And if things got dicey with the two of you, or you broke off your relationship, your connection, maybe you want to think about how to repair that. That's not this video. For this video, I want to help you become the dad you wish you had, so that you can be the dad that you should be, desire to be, long to be to your own children. I have 4 amazing kids, and I didn't have them by myself. I had them with the help of my amazing wife. We've been married for 34 years. All of our kids are now adults, but I reflect back on my years of being in this role as their father and constantly feeling like I was feeling around in the dark, trying to figure it out. How's this supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? How do I provide? How do I love their mom? How do I deal with changes and transitions and them in different phases and stages of their lives? And it was so often, I don't think it was a crapshoot, but it was definitely me having a lot of questions, feeling insecure, feeling inadequate, feeling like I just didn't know how to do the thing that I really always longed to do and to be. I always wanted to be a dad. I always looked forward to the day when I would have kids, because like so many of you, I made a resolution when I realized how much I missed my father. My dad left, I was 9 months old, so my mother tells me, and I never saw him. In fact, I didn't see him until just before I got married. I was 25 years old the first time I laid eyes on him. And for all of those years, even beyond those years, because there was no connection, no relationship, I didn't have a mirror, I didn't have a blueprint, I didn't have really a guide apart from watching other men parent their kids. And so I was picking and pulling from different people trying to figure it out. Eventually, I turned to the Bible and got some real keen insights. And eventually, I turned to some other men who helped me learn how to become the dad that I wish I'd had. Now, by the way, the dad you wish you had may not be the dad you need to be, because there is a unique you to bring to the table of your being their dad, being a parent. And I just want to encourage you, invite you, bring you. Maybe this video should be titled, How to Become the Dad You Should Just Be. But it wouldn't rhyme, you know what I'm saying? So let me share with you 6 things in this video. And if you like this, make sure you like, subscribe, or hit me up in the comments. Let me know if this is helpful. But I want to give you some of the things that I've learned on my journey as a dad of over 33 years now that I think can be useful to you. So here was one of the first things that I learned. It was begin to speak life into your children. Speak life into them. Speak to them about what they mean to you. Speak life into them by telling them how amazing they are, how beautiful they are, what a gift they are to you. That's how you speak life. It's not just speaking to you can be anything you want to be. That's cool, but it's so general. But you want to speak to the fact that I know that there's something great inside of you, and just remind them how much you cherish them, how much you love them. And you gotta use those words. I'm telling you, it's so powerful, the impact that it can have if you begin to use those words with them. One of the ways we speak life into our children is just by being with them, holding them when they're young, picking them up when they fall. And even when they're in their teen years or even beyond that, just reminding them how much you care about them, love them, respect them, want to be there for them. So speak life into them. The Bible says that God, when he created Adam, he breathed into Adam, and Adam became a living being. You want to see your children begin to live and blossom and be full of courage and confidence. Speak life into your children. You got to show and not just tell. You know, now, if you're like me as a dad, like I'm a coach, I coach couples, and everything in me coaches. I'm constantly coaching, trying to tell people how to do it. But I realize with my kids, it's different. You got to show them, because so much more is caught than is taught. You might say that so much more is learned by showing than by telling. Because when we just tell them what to do, and sometimes y'all know how it is, we can bark out commands and we can tell them you need to do this and you need to do that and why don't you do this and you should do that. Like if you walk over and show them, you plant a whole new memory in their mind and in their emotions. And so if you show them while you're telling them, hey, this is how you fold your clothes. This is how you brush your teeth. This is how you fill in the blank. Let me show you how I do it. Because when you show them, what you're doing is you're giving them a pattern. You're not saying this is the only way to do it, but you're simply saying, hey, I'm in this with you. Let me show you, not just tell you. I want to talk to all the dads for a moment who just like you're constantly barking, like bring that down, bro. Like bring it down. I was talking to one of my clients recently, and his wife was saying to him, like, you talk to the kids so harshly. He's like, well, I'm trying to tell them because they're soft, and I don't want to be soft because you can't be soft in this world, and they need to learn how to do it because you're trying to make them soft. I was like, hey, bro, you got to bring that down. You got to bring that down, which brings me to my third principle here. You got to stay calm. Stay calm when you're teaching them, even when you have to discipline them. Stay calm. They need to know that you love them. They need to know that you can keep your cool, right? To not stay calm is to indicate to them that you are not in control of you, that somehow you can be easily taken away emotionally. And then let me just be real for a moment. Like, yes, your kids can make you want to go there. They can make you want to go there. Whether you live with them and their mom or you don't live with them and their mom, they can make you want to go there. But you got to stay calm. Y'all hear this in my voice? Stay calm. Say this with me. 2 words. Stay calm. Stay calm. Calm keeps everybody in the conversation. Because otherwise what can happen is you can shock their emotional framework. You can shock them so that anxiety starts to rise up in them. You don't want them to fear you. I know some of y'all, you heard all the wrong things. You don't need them to fear you. You need them to grow their respect for you. And they can grow their respect for you if you have firm things that you need to say and do with them, but you remain calm. Stay calm. Their nervous system can't handle the heavy weight that we bring sometimes. I remember my wife saying to me a few years back, well, many years now, when our kids were teenagers, She said, you know, you don't realize that when you come into the house and you are snapping and telling everybody, hey, what you doing? What are you doing? Why you doing this? How heavy you come in and what that does to the kids. I was creating all sorts of anxiety in my kids, and I didn't even know it. She says, you come in as the heavy, and that's too much for all of us. And I later learned that I was shocking their nervous system and causing anxiety to be spiked in them, so that they couldn't see my love for them. What they saw in me was a dad who was never pleased, a dad who never liked them or loved them. Isn't it amazing how God the Father says to Jesus in the Bible, if you read the Bible, maybe you don't, but even before he had done anything, he sent a word from heaven. The Bible says that he could hear the voice of his Father say, this is my beloved Son in whom I'm well pleased. I wish I had heard my dad say that. Don't you wish you'd heard your dad say that more? Maybe you did. If he did, man, you got to give him some kudos. And by the way, if it's ladies who's watching this video, make sure you share this with some man in your life, because you can give them some encouragement. You can give them a framework, some principles to guide them. So you want to stay calm, supply their needs. Supply their needs. Supply their needs, and supply their needs joyfully. Like, let them know you're excited to take care of them. I've heard so many people refer to their kids as problems when it comes to supplying the things that they need. But we have a God, I have a God, I hope you have the same God, who delights to supply all of our needs. When you supply their needs, you set some amazing things in their memory long-term, emotionally and mentally, that says to them that provision is possible. That being impoverished and broke and not having anything and always getting no's from your dad is not normal. That's not the way it's supposed to be. See, my story is I never received any provision from my dad. So my dream, my longing, my resolution became, I'm going to make provision for my kids. And if they need something, I'm going to give it to them joyfully. I still have to remind my adult children, like, hey, I'm here for you. If you need something, because they don't like to ask. I say, hey, if you need something, let me know. I was talking to one of my daughters the other day, actually two of my daughters the other day. I was like, hey, how you doing? Everything cool? How's your money flowing? You good? Like, they're working hard, they're getting after it, they're responsible. I'm like, hey, let me drop something on you. Go do something for yourself. Go enjoy something. Let me help you with that. And so I just cash apped them some money. They hit me back. They're like, thanks, Dad. Right? Not because they were surprised, but because they were grateful. I want my children to know, you should want your children to know, that they have a father who gets excited to provide for their needs. Now, let me just throw this in. You don't want to just throw money at them and not spend time with them, because if all we do is throw money at them and don't build a relationship with them, then we've really sort of defeated the purpose. And then we get mad when they get older and we wonder why we built this transactional relationship with them, perhaps because that's the only thing they knew as relationship. And then watch this, we can set them up for later in life where the relationships they build are based on transactions, and they think that to get money is to be loved. And that's a really, really dangerous place for any of them, male or female. So, but make sure you think about, how can I make sure I supply their needs, set aside some money for the things that are coming up, the soccer, the basketball, the school uniforms. Y'all tracking with me? And make sure you say to them, hey, I took care of that for you. That's my joy. I'm your dad. I'm dropping so many golden nuggets in this video. I hope that you're getting them and really taking them in. But it's supply their needs and to do it joyfully. This one really changed the game for me. Seek mentors. Yeah, I had to seek mentors because I didn't know what I was doing. Some of those mentors were in really good books. They were in some really good books. And some of those mentors were people I just bumped into along the way, some in church, and at different seasons on the journey, I sought mentors. But here's the thing, I had to not be so proud, not be too proud to ask for some help. I wasn't too proud to beg, dog. I needed help. I needed to figure it out. I said, hey, can you show me how to do this? How do you discipline them? How do you, how do you build relationships with them? And so I started doing things that I watched my mentors do. Like, I read the Bible to my kids every night, probably until they were 11 or 12. And then our routines changed, but every night I would just do that. That was my thing. When they were babies, I would come home from work, tell my wife, take a little bit of break. I would handle baths after dinner, because it was a great way for me to have fun with them and nurture relationship. But I learned that from my mentors. And I'm telling you, I would not naturally have known to do that if I didn't have mentors who taught me those things. Like when I would take my children to school in the morning, I would drop them off to school, but every single morning we would pull out a Bible. Well, they would. I would say, hey, turn to a Bible verse. We would have a daily verse. Everybody would read a section and we would have a prayer. It would take us 3, 4, 5 minutes on the drive. As they got into their teen years and their lives got busy and they were tired going to school, I would let them sleep in the car for the first 20, 25 minutes, the last 5 or 10 minutes. I said, okay, wake up, y'all. Y'all know what time it is. Let's do this. But I learned these things from my mentors. My mentors taught me so much. And I'm telling you, if you don't have a mentor to teach you how to be the dad you never had, let's help you do that. Maybe we need to work together in coaching so that I can help you. And I would love to add you to a cast of men that I've been mentoring for years, teaching them how to not only be great dads, but how to be great husbands, how to move through their dreams and how to accomplish the things that they really desire to do. But seek mentors, seek mentors. Last one, I talked about this in the last point, but let me say this: shape them spiritually. Shape them spiritually. Like, it's cool if you get them a great education. It's cool if you make supply for their needs. It's cool when you spend time with them. All of that's good, important, but no one can image God to them more than you can. I would go so far to say is what they understand about God, they get from their relationship with you. And so you can shape them spiritually, because they'll learn that God is a great provider or a poor provider. They'll learn that they can talk to God or they can't talk to God. They'll learn that God is approachable or that God is not approachable. They'll learn that God is dependable or he's not dependable. They'll learn those things from what you and I shape in them by how we show up, by how we take them to church. I always led the way to church for my family. I still do. I just do. But now I don't even have to, because they're leading the way. They're doing the thing. They have developed and nurtured their relationships with God because they had a father who shaped that in them. I'm telling you, I made a lot of mistakes along the way. There was a lot that I didn't know, a lot that I didn't understand, a lot that I didn't get right. But these 6 things right here, I worked on until I became consistent. And now we have some of the most amazing relationships that I could imagine as a father with my kids. I didn't have a dad growing up. I didn't know how to do it. I was nervous. I was insecure. I was inconsistent. I was anxious. I was moody. Sometimes I was snappy and too hard. But I learned along the way, and I'm trying to tell you, you can learn these things if you just take one at a time and begin to implement the principles that I'm sharing with you today. You can be an amazing dad. You probably already are. This is just rehearsal for you. You probably already are. And I want to speak that to you, that you are an amazing dad. You're a great dad, but don't stop growing. All right. Hey, happy Father's Day to all of you. And I'm hopeful. I know this was helpful to you. If it was, hit me up in the comments. Let me know. and take these and just breathe them in. If you want me to do the part 2, let me know in the comments. I'll check the comments out and I'll put together part 2 of how to be the dad you wish you had. All right, peace. I'm out. May God bless you. Stay strong.